Change. What is change? That's something that I've wondered. And according to the dictionary, change is to make the form, the nature, the content, the future, the course, etc. different from what it is or from what it would be if left alone. Also, to transform or to convert. We have change in life. We experience change. Everybody does. Every single person and human being, every animal, every species experiences change. From plants to animals to mammals to whales. Now there's change that is in our control and that is out of our control. Those are the two forms of change that I've summed up in my life and in my experience that I've experienced. So some examples of change that are out of your control would be when something drastic happens to you, like you're in an accident, your loved one dies, you are born without a limb, you're born into poverty, you're broke, you have no money. You can't control the situation that you were put in. And some other examples of change that are in your control would be education, your diet, what you eat, what you put in your mouth, what you consume. Mentally and physically, what you eat, what you digest. Your thoughts. That's a huge one that's in your control. That we choose not to exercise, we choose not to alter. Because we're so used to thinking the same negative thoughts that have been bestowed upon us, that have been instilled in us. It's human nature to be negative. And a lot of times we continue to be negative because of the environment that we're in. So let's say you can't control the environment that you were put in, that you were born in, okay? Let's say you were born into poverty. Or let's say something happens, some drastic change that is out of your hands and your parents go broke or something. So change that is out of your control, what can you do about it? There really isn't anything you can do because now it's in the past, because it just happened. Now you're stuck there. What do? You can stand there and twiddle your thumbs, or you can control the way you respond, how you react, how this change affects you, how you impact people around you, how it impacts yourself. That, my friend, you can change and you can control. So I urge you to embrace this change that is out of your control and control the way you respond to it, how you interpret it, the way you think about it. So change that is out of your control could either be bad or good, right? Positive or negative. That's actually a matter of perspective, how you look at it. Whether it's positive or negative. When you look at things, look at it in a positive view. That's what I've learned recently. For this past couple years that I've been doing research and changing my life, changing the way I think. Now, change that is in your control, we just talked about it, would be the way you think, your thoughts, what you put into your head, what you see, how you interpret things. That's change that you can control. Your diet. Let's say you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. What are you going to do? There's only one thing you can do. Adapt. By changing your diet and reversing it. Because it is possible. For every single one of you out there diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, or high cholesterol, or high blood pressure, all that is reversible. That's in your control. But you have to choose to change. It's not going to happen by itself. Without action, there is no change. So that goes back to the initial change. That took action. But that action was out of your hands. So change that is in your control has to do with changing your behavior, the people that you surround yourself with, the environment that you're in, your financial situation. Me personally, I have struggled financially, and slowly but surely with change, I budget, I adapt, I cut my expenses, I try to increase my my assets and cut down on my liabilities. That's how you're going to gain a financial foothold. That is another topic for another video. So for change that's in your control, I urge you to exercise this, to use this. And all it takes is action. To sum it up, an action could be a physical action or a mental action. Just by changing the way you think, your thoughts. That's the first step, my friend. That is the first step. So after you change the way you think, you need to verbalize it. You need to write it down. Hold yourself accountable. Because if you change one day and go back to the same old habits, in the broad scale, you're never going to change. You never have. You're just a typical human being that wants to change, but either doesn't know how or can't stick to it. Make sense? So action counteracts complacency. If you're complacent and you're living in the same situation you're in and you're unhappy, that's just called being lazy. That's called being scared. That's called being a human being. That's called being a typical human being. The majority of America experiences that. I experienced it myself. Now don't think I'm just this guru or this motivational speaker. I'm just a young man that's giving my insight, that's giving my experience. That's all it is. Sometimes that's what we need to change. We need to be awakened. Someone needs to tell you the truth. And maybe this is knowledge that you've never heard, or maybe you have heard it before. You need to hear it again in order to change. So if that's you, I want you to take something away from this video. I'm not just talking just to talk. Me personally, I want to affect the world. This whole planet, I want to bring us together and affect the world on the broad scale. But in order to do that, it's going to take one step at a time, one video at a time, one lesson at a time. I have to learn myself and experience these changes myself and hold myself responsible in order for me to preach. Because I can't preach if I don't practice it, can I? Then I'd be a hypocrite. I'd just be talking without meaning it. Right now, this is coming from my heart. It's taken a lot for me to just share this with you. So if you take something from this video, take this. If you don't change, if you don't act, your life is never going to change. You're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. Happiness is a state of mind, right? That's why they say money can't buy happiness. Well, I'm pretty sure if you get money and you buy the Lamborghini and the car of your dreams, of course you're going to be happy, right? For a little bit. I would. But in order to be happy, be truly happy and be fulfilled, you have to look within. Ask yourself, am I happy? First of all. And then if not, if the answer is no, ask yourself why. What is it I can do? What is it I haven't done? You may have feelings for another person that you are scared to say, or maybe you're too lazy. Who knows? But me personally, I told this person that I have feelings for them, genuine feelings. And that's in my control, right? But how she reacts is not in my control. That is what I'm paying for right now. But you know what? At least I said it. At least I said it and expressed how I felt. Maybe it was too late. Maybe it was the bad time. But all I know is what I was experiencing, what I was feeling, this pressure in my stomach that I had to get off my chest, this weight I had to get off my chest, it's off now. Now there are other battles, other challenges that I deal with every single day. But what do? I get up every morning at 4:30, get out of bed. Even though I don't want to, I want to change my life, so I do that every single morning. And if I can do it, I know you can do it, okay? Change starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. You can't blame mommy and daddy. You can't blame your spouse, your significant other. You can't blame your job for you not getting the promotion you got just because your boss isn't ready for you, or your boss hasn't asked you yet. You haven't asked for that raise. Get up and go ask. Let them know your value. Excuse me. Now to wrap this up, change won't happen without action. Now that comes from you, okay? Only you. Hold yourself accountable, and you're never gonna change. That's the key to living a fulfilled life. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.